HPC is basically processing large amounts of data and complex computations at high speeds. This is typically done by harnessing the power of supercomputers, just because these problems are too complex for your everyday computer. And we solve problems that could take, say, months or years in a much smaller amount of time.
So every year there's an SC conference, and with it there is a student cluster competition. Inti SSC is a world branch of the student cluster competition that is more education focused. It's for its competitors to learn and understand how HPC work.
And as far as the team itself is concerned, it's a bit difficult to say how we're positioned relative to the others because they're in different time zones and we haven't had a whole lot of interaction with them as we perhaps would if this were the normal in-person variant of the competition. But certainly with a lot of the webinars, we've been making sure that we show up to as many of those as possible, introducing the applications and so on, and working with the various help desks and things like that. So I think we are quietly confident with our position, but it will only be a matter of time to see how we actually perform in the competition itself.
Our upcoming assignment coming up is on John the Ripper. John the Ripper is basically just like a password cracker. So it's used by like hackers, like cybersecurity teams that hack like legally, so like ethical hackers, to basically test how strong your passwords are in like your system. So say like you're Monash and you have like lots of like important people, you kind of want to make sure that they don't have weak passwords. Otherwise, you know, like some hacker could basically, you know, compromise their account, get a lot of like sensitive information. And like Monash, like university is quite like a big target, especially from like kind of state-funded kind of hacking programs, just because we have like a lot of, you know, like interesting or useful information for industry or education. So our job for the next assignment is basically to optimize John the Ripper, because like a lot of people in the past have tried to use like supercomputers or like HPC to kind of improve it, because like hacking passwords can take a really long time. Like if you have a really complicated password, it could take like years for like a normal computer to crack it, but with supercomputing, it can be like much faster. So we're trying to find a way to kind of optimize it in like an elegant way, which hasn't really been done before.
So the last assignment we did was on an application called GROMACS. And GROMACS is a piece of software that can run really high fidelity particle simulations. It's used a lot by researchers in material science or chemistry to simulate proteins, various other sorts of simulations as well. And what we had to do for the assignment was compile and build GROMACS in a variety of different ways. So allowing GROMACS to, in some instances, build its own instances of the particular software. In other instances, we compile that ourselves. And then for each of the builds, we ran a particular benchmark to see how it performed. And it was quite intensive to get figured out because the simulations are using lots of different tools to run, and they run with really small time steps. So it was quite cool to finally get it working.
So Chameleon Cloud is one of the supporters of the Inti SSC competition, and they have kindly provided us with their notes for the competition, as well as our practice leading up to the competition. At the actual day of competition, they will give us these Chameleon Cloud notes so that everyone will be on equal footing.
Yeah, Simon's been great so far. It's like he's very understanding. Like I'm quite a new member in the team just in general, and like, you know, like his expectations are where they need to be, and he definitely provides like a lot of support. He's been a great driver in the group in terms of orienting us in the right direction and keeping us up to date on what's happening just with the competition in general. Him and Zach have been pretty instrumental to our successes so far. And especially with like the challenges in lockdown, I didn't think they could do a better job.
The competition team is different from some of the other project teams that you can be on, in the sense that you have a very specific goal that you're working towards, and that sense of specificity can be really helpful in working towards something quite productive as a team. You're not just working through it, and you're not sort of meandering through an open-ended project. And so the competition's always good. I mean, the sense of competitiveness amongst the other teams is also something really positive in bringing out the best of everyone's abilities. And so in that sense, I found the competition aspect quite enjoyable, and so could comfortably recommend to others as well.